Well, Martin Reid is the Road Haulage Association Director for Scotland. Good morning to you, Martin.
Good morning.
Just give us a sense of how difficult the situation is for the whole industry in Scotland at the moment.
Well, I think it's not just Scotland, it's in the entire UK is having to work out a completely new way of dealing with the supply chain. So, unfortunately, there was no time to, sense check these procedures or get businesses ready in terms of the IT systems that they were going to be interacting with and some of the paperwork. So, we're having to do all this live.
And was it really the case that you had to wait until the deal was announced? I mean, was any of this foreseeable? Could any of this have been pre-prepared?
Well, what could have been, or what was pre-known was the fact that regardless of whether there was a deal or not, then there would be customs requirements. The problem came with the fact that the systems that we were about to use, or Hauliers were to use, didn't go live until the 23rd of December. And so there was no time before the actual date of the 1st of January when everything changed for systems to get themselves ready and also to understand exactly what system is going to speak to what system, how you get the various consignment notes and numbers, etc., that allow you to progress through the system. So that's where the issues have been lying, really. So
literally a week. And then the consequences obviously are delays, which for firms, as we've been hearing, like Lochfine Langoustines, taking fresh food to markets across the continent, that is make or break, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm on regular calls with representatives from various parts of the industry, and the seafood sector are making it very, very clear to Scottish and UK government that they're on their knees just now. I guess a way to put this into perspective is when you look at major corporations like the supermarkets, they have already written to the government to say that they are not confident that they will be ready for the end of March. And these are organisations with massive amount of resource to throw at this. So it just shows the scale of the problem for smaller operators to try and get their heads around it in a shorter space of time.
Yeah, I mean, is it even harder then for the smaller operators, the family companies, for example, than the big supermarkets?
Yeah, absolutely, because as I said, they don't have the necessary resources. They don't have the family silver in the background for when things go wrong or there are bigger delays. So massive issues. I mean, we heard just the other day that Europe's largest haulier, DB Schenker, will not be coming to the UK for the foreseeable future because they're concerned of the time it takes, the delays, and also the hassle that's involved in doing business with the UK just now.
Yeah, I mean, the UK government would say, I'm sure, that this was a process, the whole Brexit project, that was designed to improve things, they will argue, for over decades. The first few weeks, there's always going to be snagging. It's like moving into a new built house. There is always snagging that will have to be taken care of, but it's a few weeks of disruption for long-term benefit. What would you say to that?
I think there's more than that that's the issue. This is not just teething problems. We have some fundamental issues rather than teething problems. For example, how the systems look at groupage, which is basically a term for multiple pickups, and then moving across, particularly to Ireland. The system has no place for that just now, and yet because of the just-in-time nature of how we go about our business, and groupage becomes a really important part for not just general haulage, but particularly for the seafood sector as well.
Yeah, and briefly, if you can, how long, I mean, you were talking about months, how long could this go on for?
Oh, goodness, that's an incredibly difficult question to answer. And the shorter the better, I guess. And for the seafood sector, they need things done immediately. No doubts about that.
Yeah, all right. Well, we will stay across this, as you will, I'm sure. Martin Reid from the Road Haulage Association, thank you very much indeed for your time.